Hi, welcome to this Accela University video. My name is Thomas Strauss, and I will be showing you some basics for working with the Oxygen user interface, or as it is often referred to, the Oxygen UI. Although the Oxygen UI for Civic Platform is designed to be intuitive and easy to use, it is helpful to take a moment to acclimate yourself to the environment and the tools that are available to you. In this video, I will show you how the system login works, the home page layout and defaults, and finally, how to use the navigational controls. Let's get started. This is the login page for the Civic platform. Some agencies may be set up with single sign-on and therefore will have a little different login screen. In my instance, I can see my agency name, which is Training 091, listed above my login credentials, and to the right is the environment that I'm accessing, which is the testing environment. This is important for individuals such as system admins who log into multiple environments besides just the production environment. Below that are my login credentials and the login button shown below that. Before logging in, I want to mention the information that you see at the bottom of the page. Accela Civic Platform versioning is done by the year. Each year there are two primary product releases, one in the spring and one in the fall. For the year 2021, there have been versions 21.1 and 21.2. The current version shows as 21.2.1. Anytime you need to check the current version, you can find this at the bottom of the login page. Let's get logged in. So this is what the Accela Civic platform looks like when you log in, and I'm going to provide you with an overview of your default home page and your navigational controls. So let's start at the very top of the page, and there is a horizontal bar there that is called the application bar. And if you notice on the left side of the screen, it says Accela Civic Platform. It has my agency name, which is Training 091. Your agency name is probably an abbreviation of your agency, your service provider code, and you'll see that there, whatever that looks like. Over on the very right side of the application bar, you can see there's a place in the corner that has my initials, and this is the application menu. So when I expand this, I can now see my name, and underneath that there's a number of links that I have access to. Now, a couple of these links are going to be limited to those who have user access as a system administrator. The administration link and the classic administration would be restricted to just those who have those permissions. So you might not have access to those areas if that's not your role. Now, the sign out is always good to use, and it does just what it says. It signs you out. It also clears the cache. So that's a good idea to use that rather than just clicking and on the browser control to close the browser. Now, the help that you see at the very top, if you click on this, it opens up a window that gives you access to global help. And global help is found in a couple of different ways. One, there are links at the top, for example, the user guide. You could get to help topics by navigating the user guide. You can see that there are menus that pop open as you work through these different links. The other option is to simply search for a topic and look that up. And in that case, you need to designate what you're looking for. Now, there's another form of help that's maybe a little more intuitive, that's somewhat location-based, and I'll show you an example of that. So the help that you see here, this is global help. You need to find what it is you're looking for. Now, if I navigate to a record page, for example, so I'm going to click on one of these tiles in my main menu, and that opens up my record space. And you can see in the toolbar right above, there is a help button. And these help buttons are found all throughout the system on just about every page where you might be working. So if I click on help, notice here that it opens up to the topic of records. And that's because I'm currently on the record space or the record page. And you can see there's a lot of record-related topics that are there. So be aware that when it comes to getting help within the system, if you use the help that's found in the application menu in your top right corner, in this case you would need to designate and specify the topic. If you open up help as it's found in many places throughout the system, that will be a little more intuitive in that it will pull up the topics that pertain to the page where you're working. All right, so that's the application bar at the top and the application menu over on the right. Now I will navigate back to what we see when we first log in, and that is the task dashboard. So the very first time you log in, you're going to see the task dashboard. Now that can be changed. If you don't want to see the task dashboard as your default home page, that's something you can change. And there is another video focused on the Launchpad tool that shows you how to do that. So for now though, we'll use the task dashboard just as it is by default as the home page. And each of these cards that you see across the page are tasks that have been assigned to me. It is possible that some of you could log in the very first time and you do not see any task. And that may be perfectly appropriate. And over time, you may find that tasks begin to accumulate and you begin to see tasks there. We'll talk more about the task dashboard in another video that focuses just on that. But this is by default your home page, and what you're seeing there are tasks that may have been assigned to you or to your department. And if you notice on the very left side of the page, another navigational control is the entire strip that you see going down the left side of the page. It's a blue colored strip, and this is called the main menu. And the very top portion of the main menu has three static tiles. One at the very top of the main menu is the task dashboard tile. The next one below that is the global search tile. So if I click on that tile, you can see that it has a white colored border around it and it pops open global search. We do have another video that deals specifically with global search and shows you how to use that tool. If I click on it again, it collapses. And then the other static tile that you see, these three tiles are never change, they don't move, and they're always listed and pinned right above this horizontal white line. So the three tiles above are static. The Launchpad is going to open up a window that gives you the ability to create a new record, to access previously open data items, to get to pages that you've set up as favorite pages, and gives you access to the broader group of pages that you've been given access to. And again, we'll talk in more detail about how the Launchpad works in another video. So for the time being, focus on the very top tile on the main menu. If you click on it a second time, you get a slide out that allows you to toggle between the task dashboard, which I currently have as my default home page, and I can switch over to the map dashboard. And the map dashboard gives you access to your GIS. There's some search tools, there's layers, there's a number of widgets with a variety of tools. And those are covered in more detail in another video focused on the map dashboard. But just recognize that by clicking another time, a second time on the tile, you'll get the slide out and you can toggle back and forth between either the task dashboard or the map dashboard. So if I click on task again, now I'm back to the default homepage of the task dashboard. All right, let's talk about the other tiles that you see underneath the horizontal white line in the blue colored main menu. And I have a number of spaces or pages, and so I'll use those terms interchangeably. Different pages or spaces that you have access to in the system can be pinned on the main menu. So the first one I have is the record space, and that's where I can access records that I need to get to for work that I'm assigned to take care of. Underneath that, I have an inspections page or space. There's a place here where I have a record that's been pinned. So this main menu could consist of tiles that have been pinned either permanently or temporarily, and you could have a combination of system spaces as well as records, addresses, parcels, owners, contacts or professionals. Different data items that you've opened will create a tile, and you could use the thumbtack to pin it or unpin it, and the little X will close the tile. So we'll talk more about pinning those spaces and pages in the video covering the Launchpad. As far as the list goes there, you can see at the bottom of the main menu that there's a tile that says More with the ellipsis symbol, and when you click on that, it opens to the right to show you additional spaces that have been opened. So your limit here is 20 open spaces before you need to get rid of one or more in order to make some more room. So notice what happens when I attempt to add a 21st open space. So if I go to my Launchpad, let's say I try to open calendar, and you can see at the top of my page I have a pop-up, a banner that says you have reached the limit of 20 open spaces. And that's what you'll get if you max out at 20 and want to open one additional space. So be aware of that limitation. Okay, so that's it for this video. At this point, you should now know how to log in and how versioning works in the Civic platform. You should also have a good understanding of your default homepage view and how to use basic navigation controls such as the application menu or the main menu. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out the other videos in the series, Navigating the Oxygen User Interface.